From the Alabama Crimson Tide to the Atlanta Braves, we are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Who wants coffee? Anybody wants coffee?
Thom, can you get me a dog? Roll type C.
The Italian's tired.
He ain't good looking, but he sure ain't shy. He's a northern-bred, southern-fed, slick-talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the junkyard dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. From Gainesville up to Lexington to the Tide and Tiger Land, nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
Testosterone high today.
Yeah, Tom's a man, he's got the plan, he's really got it made. What a wife he's got, she's smoking hot, check out the junkyard babe. When everything is said and done, no one can beat his show. He's a high-tech redneck, Tony Soprano. If you love sports without the fluff, he's got the master plan. Cause nobody does it like Thom Abraham, yeah.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
And good morning, everyone, and welcome to a Top 10 Tuesday in the Doghouse. I'm backwards. I'm discombobulated. My mouse. I have a droopy boom no matter where I go. My mouse is on my right-hand side, okay? In the Big Dog Production Studio, my mouse is on the right-hand side. Here at the palatial 97.7 ESPN The Zone studios, where I broadcast the show on remote from on Tuesdays. It's like a remote for me to be here. The mouse is on the left-hand side, right? And I can't, wait a minute. Is this cord's not long enough? My cord is too short for me to handle my mouse the way I like to on the right-hand side. It's backwards, so I got to do like this. I got to turn like that. So I will recover. I could deal with it. This is a Top 10 Tuesday in the Doghouse today, and today's Tuesday Top 10 has 11 things on it. Remember, the Tuesday Top 10 doesn't have to have 10 things. It just sounds cool that way. It has 11 things on it. The 11 teams in the history of the AP preseason poll. I'll tell you the other thing I'm missing. In the Big Dog Production Studios, Grizz, I have lights behind me that shine down this way. I have a light bar that's back there. I feel like I'm in the dark over here. Here, let me turn. I'm going to turn around this way over here. Anyway, today's Tuesday Top 10. There's 11 teams in the history of the AP preseason poll, only 11, that have won a national championship, that went on and won, that were number one in the AP preseason poll, and then were number one in the AP postseason poll at the end of the season. That's, by the way, in 72 years. We're talking about dating back to 1950. This is long pre-Big Dog era. I always talk about the Big Dog era. This is way pre-Big Dog era. The first team to do it was the, by God, Tennessee Volunteers in 1951. The last team to do it was the Alabama Crimson Tide in 2017. Remember, Clemson was preseason number one in 2020 when the Tide won. Last year, the Tide were preseason number one, and, well, Georgia happened. By the way, the Dogs were preseason number 5. Now, in the playoff era, that's very important. In our playoff era, which is only 7 or 8 years old now, there's never been a winner that came from outside of the top 5. You got to be top 5. Okay, to win the national championship. We've never had anybody win the national championship who came from outside the top 5. That's why I say the pool is shallow, my friends. It's a shallow pool. In fact, the only other team to be AP preseason number 1 this century and finish the season as AP number 1 was USC in 2004. This is the 7th time in the last 13 years that Alabama was number 1 to begin the season. But they only won the national championship in one of those years. 2017 was it. I mean, I hate to scare you, Alabama fan, but 2017 was it. Do I have a little too much hair showing there, Grizz? I don't know. Let me do this. I don't want to throw too much testosterone at the studio here. I don't want to be coming off, my manliness will kind of jumps through the camera. I don't want to overwhelm the people here at the palatial 97.7 ESPN The Zone studios with too much manliness. A little too much testosterone jumping out of my shirt there. That buttoned up a button. For those of you watching on WZZN TV. In 2010, 2013, 2016, 2018, not so much. All of those years, Alabama was preseason number 1, did not win the national championship. So in Nick Saban's other 5 national championship seasons at Alabama and the one at LSU, he was not number 1 heading into the season. He's only done that once out of the 7 national championships that Nick Saban has won. Only once was his team preseason AP number 1. But again, only 11 times in 72 years has it happened. We will get you that entire list in a bit. If you know what you want to talk about, the phone lines are open. 256-576-4977. You can text the show, 732-9TA show. That's 732-982-7469. It's a great way to communicate with us. My Twitter feed is at Thom Abraham Show. The station's Twitter feed is at 97.7 ESPN. What would you expect it to be? Pretty much everything is at 97.7 ESPN. We are on the Twitter and the Facebook at 97.7 ESPN, where you can watch the show as well. And Twitch and YouTube on WZZN TV. So go to Twitch or YouTube, WZZN TV. Follow on at Twitch, like and subscribe on YouTube and get those notifications as to when we're coming on. Go to 977ESPN.com, get links to all of that stuff, and get the app. At the app, you can find links to Zone 2, Zone 3, Zone 4 as well. Now, we are going to leave the link to the Blitz on the Zones app for a period of time. But let me tell you what. Where's my studio audience? Get that studio audience ready. The Blitz app is alive and well. That's right. Yeah. Woo! Whether you got an Android or an iPhone, I don't know if you got one of them Google phones, you can probably find it too. But if you got an Android or a iPhone, just go to your store and download the Blitz app so you can listen to the Blitz too. You're going to want to have that. You want that app. You want both apps so that you can listen to the Zone, you can listen to Zone 2, Zone 3, Zone 4, and then you can listen to the Blitz on the Blitz app. Because coming up on Friday night, Buckhorn is hosting Madison County on air and on our primary stream. Myself and John McGough. God, I was laughing hysterically on my way to the studio today. So I called John McGough. As you guys know, John Boy Dewey Magoo, who he and I have been fast friends for 18 years. He sat in that. He was, I think, my first producer. Maybe not. I mean, I made that up. But he might have been my first producer when I first got to Huntsville. And I said to him, listen, should we have Cletus be our sideline reporter? Should we have Cletus do the injury reports from the sideline? And he started doing an injury report. Hey, Ty, I'm not sure. It looked like he got a broken tibia there. I'm not sure, but my sister played the tibia in the band. She was a big girl. She was the only one that could carry. He went into full Cletus. I said, should we have Cletus be our sideline reporter? No, we can't do that. We can't do that. Hilarity ensued, though. I mean, not fit for radio, but it was funny. I'm looking forward to working with him. Anyway, we'll have that game. Madison Academy hosts Deschler on Zone 2 with Steve Moulton. Randolph is at West Morgan on Zone 3. That'll have Austin Coletti and D Squared on it. And the North Alabama High School Scoreboard Show with Scott Tyson will begin on the Blitz at 8:30. And then it will be on the air on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, and all streams after the Buckhorn game. You see, this is why you got to have all of this stuff. You got to have everything because this is the home of everything. Well, dog, what's going to be on zone 4? I'm hopeful. I hope the Braves. I mean, I don't even know. Wait a minute, my guys don't think that. I mean, we should. Maybe not. I don't know. Well, we're trying. We'll see. We'll address that in the meeting today after the show. We'll try and figure that out. But, we have everything. You know what I mean? So if you have everything, you got to have multiple outlets for everything. We have 6 outlets. We have the over-the-air with 97.7 ESPN. We have, 4 streams for ESPN. That makes 5. And we have the Blitz. That makes 6. We have 6 channels, people. 6. And on the Blitz this afternoon from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, the afternoon Blitz with young Captain Cool and the Bandy Man and Smokey Mike Honcho, while we have over here the Paul Feinbaum Show. And every day at 9 on the Blitz, it's the Recruiting Blitz with D Squared, Drew Darman. And I just caught the end of that, and as always, that's a very good show. Now, coming up in a few minutes, Justin Ferguson from the Auburn Observer begins his weekly visits. The quarterback battle rages on at Auburn. And if you read the tea leaves, it just seems that it's coming down to TJ Finley and Hoover's Robbie Ashford. I mean, maybe the thought coming in to the season was that maybe Zach Calzetta was brought in to be the starter. Maybe not. Maybe not. I'm curious as well to see what Ferg thinks about Brian Harsin and Bruce Pearl interlocking arms and singing Kumbaya and declaring that Auburn is an everything school. A couple of years ago when Auburn went to the Final Four, fans were certainly captivated by that, but it seemed short-lived. If the football team made the Final Four, it would create like a 2 or 3 year buzz. I mean, it would be absolute. They would paper not only Toomer's Corners, they would paper half the state. They would paper from Auburn to Montgomery if the football team could make the Final Four. And I've got some interesting data on which football, basketball combined programs are actually the best in the SEC. You may be fascinated by this, results of this. At the top of the 11, Alan Carpenter from TomahawkTake.com is in, as the Braves and Mets opened their 4-game series at Truist Park last night with Atlanta dropping the hammer on New York 13-1. 13-1. The Mets had come in winners of 17 out of 20, and they had allowed 2 or fewer runs in 8 straight games, something they hadn't done since the amazing Mets did it in 1969. The Braves dropped 2 touchdowns on them to get within 4.5 games. Tonight it's 5-5 Charlie Morton against 10-3 Tajon Walker. That's a tall task there. Taiwan Walker. He's good. Got about 3.5 ERA, 10-3 on the season. Will Kyle Wright or Max Fried even pitch in this series? We'll ask Carp that. It could happen. Could happen by Friday. We'll have to see. All right, over there in that little glass booth with the slanted ceiling, playing the platters that matter in the stacks of wax, manning the phones, keeping us on the air, out of his friggin' mind over a 13-1 whipping last night. Had to stay up late, though, because of the 1-hour rain delay. It's DJ Grizzy Grizz.
Who in the blue hell are you? What is your name? Detective. It doesn't matter what your name is.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together out of spit and polish.
I mean, this is ridiculous. It's a radio show. It ain't a 1-hour television spectacular.
I think this is one of the traits of a really good producer. Keep the talent happy.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. Now, Tom. Hey, Tom.
He may be the smartest person that I've ever met.
Testosterone high today.
What's that?
Testosterone, whatever the it is. Testosterone.
I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
It really doesn't matter what you think. It really doesn't matter what you say.
Grizz, the mouse is on the wrong side. I need a mouse extension cord.
You can just do it with your. You can't do it with your left hand.
Oh God, no. Oh no. I'm reaching over to do it with my right hand. No, on my left hand, I would liable to press something and have the studio blow up or something like that.
Yeah, no, I can't really do it either, to be honest with you. But
I can't do a lot. I'm not a left-handed mouse person.
No, but I did enjoy the butt whipping last night. Man, that was a wild game to start it off with a Contreras bomb, Rosario bomb, and then whatever happened in the outfield with the Acuna hit. He didn't even try to run on that. He was giving up on that.
Or Acuna?
Acuna. And it was just then something happened, and then kind of needed the little rain delay for a little bit for about an hour, and Spencer Strider came out there and pitched well, and it's good to see to be able to open up a game against the Mets.
It would be good to save half of those runs when you only needed 2
to win. It seems like they always do that in a game
it's like, don't stop
longer
already.
Than usual, or a game that like they're not putting Carlos Carrasco's been pitching really well this year, but it's clearly not their ace, and it's just like every time it's a guy that you think that you want him to beat up on Max Scherzer or DeGrom or somebody, which it's going to be pretty tough to do. It was a really good game last night. I mean, it was all around. I mean, everybody contributing. Vaughn Grissom, I believe this is like he's got a hit in every single game that he's been in since he's joined the majors. So I mean, it's just wild that the Braves have been doing it so well with their farm.
While your team was doing that, my team got shut out again. I mean, I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
I mean, they are so out of control, and it is so bad. It's so bad for the Yankees right now, Grizz, that Anthony Rizzo got hit and wasn't allowed to take the base. He got hit in the side of his leg.
Yeah.
And they said, and the umpire, no, you got to stay here. How often do you ever hear the umpire like the guy didn't get out of the way? He would have had to jackknife. I don't know where he could have gone. He would have had to jackknife to get out of the way. The pitch hit him in the side of the leg. And you know how Anthony Rizzo crowds the plate?
Yeah.
And the umpire says, no, you didn't make an effort to get out of the way. We see guys all the time hanging in there like this, and they'll just stand there and take it on the arm, take it on the wrist or something like that. Lean in a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing. And then then the next pitch they throw him is low and away. And, of course, he strikes out because it's low and away. He couldn't hit it with a telephone pole. And he gets into the dugout, and he starts pounding his helmet.
Yeah.
On the helmet rack. He can't even break the helmet rack. He might have broke the helmet. I don't know, because he came out the next time with a shiny new helmet. So he might have broke his helmet. I'm not sure. But they were having fits. Absolutely. And then Aaron Hicks. Have you seen the replay of Aaron Hicks?
No, I haven't.
Oh, my God. Look at it during the break. Check it out. Aaron Hicks on a ball hit to center field. He looks worse than the worst player on the Bad News Bears. He's just spinning around in circles like a top out there. I mean, you got
like that happened in both games, in the Braves game too, as well.
I mean, Joey Gallo thinks Aaron Hicks sucks. He's hit into 4 double plays with the bases loaded this season, 2 last night. His career batting average with the bases loaded is 162. I can't believe it. I mean, they still got a 10-game lead in the division. I don't think they should be allowed in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's gonna get kind of crazy if you can't hit down the stretch and your bullpen's giving up runs. It's gonna be you can't just rely on your top guys.
Garrett Cole pitched great. He pitched great and they blew it. They just wasted it. They just wasted another because Hicks does that whoop-de-doo out there on that ball to center field. That guy ends up on third, and the next guy hits a single through a drawn-in infield that would have been an easy out. So that should have been 2. That would have been out. 2 outs it would have been, and instead it was a run.
I feel bad. I'm so sorry.
Grumpy,
sorry about your Yankees.
Grumpy wants you to clip.
Yeah.
Grumpy wants you to clip when you said, I really enjoyed the butt whipping last night. Yeah, you're right, Grumpy. You're going to clip that and send it to me. That's going on the Big Dog board. I need Grizz. I really enjoyed the butt whipping last night. Good God.
I'll try to find that.
Yeah.
I'll go back.
Well, it wasn't that long ago.
I know. We got 20 minutes.
All right, we got a lot to do on the show, but let's start with Justin Ferguson after the break. Let's see if we can't, stay on clock. I don't know why, but let's just try to do that. It's the Tom Abraham Show. Back with more after this. Justin Ferguson is next, talking Auburn on 97.7 ESPN. The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
With the division on the line and the playoffs charging in, you won't want to miss a minute of Atlanta Braves baseball.
High fly, deep to left, forget about it for Austin Riley. A blast to left.
Tonight, don't miss a minute of this epic NL East battle in Atlanta as Ronald Acuna and the Braves take on Pete Alonso and the New York Mets. Braves Radio's on the air at 6:05 Eastern, 5:05 Central on the Braves Radio Network.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
This time of year, it's hot. But with Brooks & Collier, you can be outside and comfortable. That's why Brooks & Collier has deep discounts on a large selection of patio umbrellas, furniture, and grills. With these patio umbrellas, you're sure to have a nice, shaded spot to relax. Lucy knows the best spot is a shaded spot. So if you're looking to spruce up your backyard and make it more comfortable, visit North Alabama's indoor and outdoor living headquarters for over 75 years. 813 Meridian Street and at brooksandcollier.com. Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Hi everybody, Eli Gold here. Right now, indoor air quality occupies top-of-mind awareness for families and business owners. Rick Smith and the trusted professionals at Environmental Comfort Systems can take care of your indoor air quality concerns with their state-of-the-art indoor air quality solutions. Environmental Comfort's indoor air quality systems remove 99.9% of airborne contaminants so you and your family can breathe clean, fresh air. If anyone in your family suffers from allergies, or if you just want the security of knowing the air you breathe inside your home is free from viruses, bacteria, pet dander, dust, and odors, Environmental Comfort Systems are the professionals to call. Environmental Comfort also carries state-of-the-art, high-efficiency comfort systems that increase home comfort, keep humidity in check, and help you save money on your energy bills. Give my friend Rick a call or visit them online at envcomfort.com and breathe cleaner air today. Environmental Comfort Systems, Alabama license number 92314.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list, and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny sky this afternoon. A couple of scattered showers are going to be possible across the area. Odds are better than not. Most of us probably going to end up staying dry. The best opportunity for rain is going to exist back across northwest Alabama. Temperatures climbing for the most part into the mid and upper 80s, dropping into the mid 60s as we head into the overnight. A slightly better opportunity for a little more in the way of widespread precipitation as we head into your Wednesday afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Eli Gold, voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now more of the Thom Abraham Show on your home for Crimson Tide Sports, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Roll Tide.
This segment of Thom Abraham Show is brought to you by Valley Equipment Rental. 2 locations to serve you best. It's Valley Equipment Rental. Check them out on the North Parkway up north of Winchester Road. There you'll see a bigger lot where they have the large excavators and dozers, along with, your skid steers and lifts and compressors and everything else that you need. They've got all of that out there. They just have more room for the big excavators and stuff. And then, of course, at the South Parkway down by Drake, more lifts, more mini excavators, more skid steers, more equipment for you for all your equipment needs. You want to get the job done like a pro, you need Valley Equipment Rental. And, Ross Roberts and his crew, they just do a tremendous job. They're just great, great folks, and they've been a part of this community for a long, long time. Justin Ferguson joins us now from the AuburnObserver.com. Everything you need to know about Auburn is at the AuburnObserver.com. And he joins us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Ferg, welcome back. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Tom?
I'm fantastic. Tell us about the podcast there, by the way, so people who want to listen to the podcast at the Auburn Observer, how they can do that once they subscribe.
Yeah, absolutely. So I do a podcast twice a week with my buddy Painter, who we used to do radio together here in Auburn a while back, and we talk about everything going on with Auburn football and men's basketball. We do that twice a week. You can listen to it anytime for free on our weekend podcast. It usually comes up on like Monday mornings now. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can check that out. And if you subscribe to the Observer, you get bonus podcasts as well. You get twice as much of it sent to your email inbox. You get a special link to listen to it. And then we do some bonus ones every now and then just for subscribers. So we have about 2 or 3 podcasts a week, and one of them's free, but if you subscribe, we'll give you even more of that. Like I said, a lot of basketball and football talk on there, just discussing what's going on in the world of Auburn.
All right, so since you do basketball and football talk, before we get to how things are going at practice, I think that you would be an authority on this little topic that has been taking place, this little spat that has started in Kentucky and has worked its way to Auburn, with Bruce Pearl and Brian Harsin locking arms and saying we're an everything school. And I'm just going to say this about that. They're an everything school because Bruce Pearl went to the Final Four 2 years ago. In my opinion, if Auburn football went to the Final Four, you'd see just how much of a football school it is. What is your take on this everything school stuff? Is Auburn a football school or not? I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, no, I think recently they've been more of a school that, has been taking more pride in everything they do, just because, obviously, the breadwinner of football has not been at the level of, winning championships or anything like that. And if you ask Bruce Pearl, he's like, yeah, Auburn is a football school, He said that in the past, like that's the one that gets the most attention, that's the one that gets the most eyeballs. But I think what Auburn does a good job of, and it avoids a situation like what you had at Kentucky, is that Bruce Pearl looks at that football team and uses it as part of his pitch and part of his recruiting efforts. They take, basketball players when they're on official visits to football games to kind of just get a feel of like what the crowd is, and vice versa. Football players come in on visits, in December and before the February signing period. They go to basketball games. So I think Auburn does a really good job of having those two programs really work together in conjunction, promoting each other, using each other. And it's not, it could be easy for a place like, for either side. It could be easy for Auburn basketball to, be jealous of what football has been, and it could be easy for football to be jealous of all the attention basketball's gotten recently. But I think they do a good job of kind of working together and having a good relationship between the two programs. So, yeah, that's why you get, those situations like that where, you can call yourself an everything school and kind of poke fun at the fact that Kentucky's having this issue right now because, I think just you have really, really good camaraderie between those two programs here, and they use each other to help each other out.
And that's fantastic. But if they both go to the Final Four in the same year, the football program gets twice as much attention, right? I mean, if the football, we just don't. It's been a minute, you know what I mean? But if they're going to the SEC championship game everywhere, if they make it to the Final Four, they're a playoff team in the college football playoff. I mean, it blows up there, right? Same thing like with Tennessee, for example, because Tennessee is like, they've had some moments with the basketball team when Bruce was there, and a little bit with the current regime there as well. Very good women's basketball team over the years with Pat Summitt. Certainly, they're becoming a baseball school. But all you'd have to see at Tennessee is the Vols make it to the playoff one year, and they would even forget that they had any other sports there.
Yeah, no, and it's an SEC. In the SEC, that's true for pretty much everywhere. Kentucky,
except for Kentucky,
Kentucky, I think is the only exception. Not only because of how good Kentucky's been at basketball historically, but how not great they've been historically in football. They've had some moments, but it would be different. If Kentucky football was, had won some SEC championships and been swinging, high there, they would be a lot more, I think, along the lines of like a Florida, like a Michigan, where you have great tradition and great pride in both of your programs, but football is the one that gets the most attention because it's just the bigger sport.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it, and it was funny because right after Kentucky football had posted the comments made by Mark Stoops about all the things that they have done and all the double-digit win seasons and all of this stuff about how the football program this and that, then the AP poll came out and they were in that. And they sent out a tweet that said that for the first time in the history of Kentucky football, they're in the top 25 in both the coaches and the AP poll. And it was like, there you go. I mean, that's all you need to know. First time in the history of the program, they're ranked in the top 25. And it's not like they were more than 20. They're ranked in the top 25 in both the AP and the coaches poll. So that tells you pretty much everything you need to know about Kentucky football.
No, yeah, absolutely. Like, they've had some good moments. They've had some sparks in it. I really think what Mark Stoops has done is been he's done a really good job there. But yeah, I mean, everybody knows that what Calipari was saying, Kentucky being a basketball school is true. You can do that though without trying to disparage the people and getting them offended.
Yeah.
So yeah, we all know where Kentucky's money's made.
Yeah.
And we all know where Auburn's money's made. Everybody else's as well. But, you can do that in tandem, and you can do that working together.
Yeah, well, Cal's an ass, but he's right. You know what I mean? He was right about it. It was just like he was right about Alabama, and certainly Nate Oates knows that, right? I mean, Nate Oates knows that,
sure.
And he knows he's coaching basketball at a football school. I mean, that's just the way it is. The first time I ever covered a game in Kentucky, I walked into the stadium, I got up into the press box, somebody sat down next to me, and this was 15 years ago probably. Somebody sits down next to me, and the first thing the guy said is, "Where are the basketball goals?" It was hilarious. I mean, but I mean, there you go. I mean, that's that. So, all right, Justin Ferguson with us from the Auburn Observer to the football team. I don't know what I'm reading in terms of reading the tea leaves here, but it feels like to me after that scrimmage Saturday and just looking at Harson's comments after that scrimmage, it feels like this quarterback battle, which ostensibly has 4 guys involved in it, maybe 3, feels like it might be 2, and it feels like it's TJ Finley and Robbie Ashford. I mean, I'm getting the feeling that it's coming down to those 2 guys, and that Zach Calzada isn't in that mix. Am I misreading that?
If you're basing it off of just this last scrimmage, then those 2 guys were better performers on the night than Zach Calzada. Calzada did not have the best day in that scrimmage. And it's interesting. TJ Finley continues to take kind of the first reps in every drill. When we get to watch him out at practice, I think part of that is just He's got the experience. They've been rotating when they do like team stuff, 11-on-11, 7-on-7 stuff. And then Robbie Ashford, to his credit, I think Robbie Ashford had this past week of practice, he was one of Auburn's players of the day twice, which is more than any other quarterback has been at this point. So it's really, really interesting. You know, Calzada, I think, as a lot of people heading into fall camp, was their favorite, you know, to pick, you know, as the pick. What happens when the scrimmage doesn't really show that first one? I think what happens over these next few days of practice is going to be really, really interesting to see how Auburn divides up the reps, how things rotate, how everything goes there. And then Friday night they have another scrimmage. And then after that scrimmage, Brian Hartson has said, all right, at that point we need to start narrowing it down. We need to start, you know, we need to have a depth chart in place. We need to get ready for games. So I think these next few days, I think it will still, you know, in practice be a three-man battle. But I think, you know, whatever happens in this scrimmage, you take the results of the first two scrimmages, and I think they move on from there. And, you know, based on the first one, I think TJ Finley has improved in some areas, taken some steps forward. And I think Robbie Ashford, just with some of the things he can do that the other quarterbacks in this battle can't, has, you know, really, really done a good job in terms of people's heads.
I wouldn't think that Zach Calzada came to Auburn to be the 3. You know, if that's the case, you wonder, you know, if Brian Harsin were to make that quick decision over the weekend, as you say, after Friday night's scrimmage, and he were to say, you know what, we got to get these two guys ready, because he can still go into those games against Mercer and San Jose State and continue to work those two guys and see who's the gamer, you know, of the two. Certainly you can do that, the old Blake Barnett and Jalen Hurts thing, and we know how that worked out, you know, at the other end of the state. If this were to go that way, and they've got a pretty nice-looking freshman sitting there as well, does Zach Calzada hang around? I mean, does he find a place where he can go play? Because he didn't go from starter at Texas A&M to the Plains to be the 3.
Yeah, no, and I think the same thing can be said of a guy like TJ Finley if he doesn't, you know, if he's out. That it's like, what happens when you transfer in and you don't have that opportunity? And like you said, they do have Holton Garrett that they like the future developing there. It's so fascinating because you've already used your 1 year your free hit on the transfer. I don't know what these guys' academic statuses are, but if they're close to graduating, okay, maybe you can get a quick shot, you know, where you can get a grad transfer waiver and you can, you know, pull the trigger that way. But yeah, it's hard for me to see all three of these quarterbacks staying at Auburn next year, just because it's like it's hard to, you know, it's hard to see it's hard to see a future at a school if you're the third quarterback and they're still recruiting freshmen behind you, you know, and still trying to develop guys and bring guys in. So it is fascinating. And I think the TJ Finley angle here is the most fascinating one of it all, because I think, you know, if TJ Finley is named Auburn's starter, that is going to provoke a pretty big reaction from the fan base. And look, coaches got to do whatever they think is going to give their teams the best chance to win, right? But like that would be a fascinating development if you go out and get two different transfers at quarterback and neither of them beat out a guy like TJ Finley. So that's why I think the Robbie Ashford angle makes it even more, you know, intriguing for Auburn, because, you know, he is somebody that we just have not seen yet.
Yeah.
Outside of, you know, the 8A game.
Well, and even if it is Ashford, if Finley is still playing it, then you would think that maybe he would hang around. You know what I mean? He wouldn't be pushed to 3. I think if he got buried on the depth chart, well, then maybe he's going to go look for a place. But, you know, I think that if it's between those two guys and they continue that way, maybe, you know, it's a little bit different. Justin Ferguson with us here. All right, interesting story you wrote about Cam Riley. I mean, this kid now 6'5", 235 pounds, and he's still listed as a linebacker. I mean, what an absolute beast. How is he? It's one thing, you know, to look like Tarzan. Is he playing like Tarzan?
Yeah, he's starting to play a lot more like it. You know, it was interesting. Cam Riley is the biggest box linebacker Auburn has had since Carlos Dansby. You got to go all the way back to 2003 since the last time Auburn's had a box linebacker this big. Cam Riley is a really interesting figure for Auburn because you have Owen Papo and you have Wes Steiner, who are going to play a lot this season. They're very similar, kind of smaller linebackers, very rangy, good guys in coverage, kind of do a lot of different things with them. Cam Riley is an old school, just like big dude who can run up and hit you. And they really he learned a lot, he said, over the last couple seasons from watching Jacoby McClain. Although Jacoby was undersized, he's a really big hitter in the middle of the field, really good run stopper. You got to watch those guys kind of operate like that. And I think Auburn wants to see him do that. Talked to Christian Robinson, Auburn's new linebackers coach, last week. He said, Cam, we just got to give him the confidence because he's got all the tools in the world. And he was saying, like, you get him out there and you tell him, hey, don't overthink things. Just kind of, trust your instincts. Go out there, kind of run and hit. And your size and your strength, you'll be able to overcome a lot of stuff. You'll be able to do it just because you are that big and that athletic. So he's going to be a one to watch this year for sure. Because I think there's going to be kind of a learning curve. Obviously, stepping into the starting lineup for the first time. But he is somebody that Auburn has not had, like I said, at linebacker in nearly 2 decades in terms of size and frame. And they think he could be a perfect complement to Owen Pappoe and to guys like Wes Steiner.
Can he be a guy that can come off the corner? Could he be an edge guy? I mean, at that size?
Yeah, I think he could help them out if they wanted him to do that for sure. I go back to the 8A game. He had a couple of really good pass rushes just as a blitzer because he is tough, for an offensive lineman to stay in front of in a passing situation. They talked about, I think when Malzahn got him a couple of years ago, I think they talked about him possibly being an edge rusher, but they kept him home at inside linebacker here, under Harsin. And, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if he could be a guy that had substitute play there, especially with Auburn's, edge rushing, usually the thin depth they have at edge rusher behind Derek Hall and Nick Leota.
Who else flashed a little bit at the scrimmage on Saturday?
Cameron Brown continues to be a guy you're hearing a ton about. Had a touchdown catch, really nice throw from TJ Finley. He caught in the back of the end zone, did a little toe tap to get it down. Yeah, he's kind of the guy to watch this season in terms of just true freshman that could really break out for Auburn. He's 6'3", he runs really quick. He comes from St. Thomas Aquinas down there in the Miami area. Last season, over a third of his catches went for touchdowns, and he averaged more than 22 yards a catch. So this is a big play dude with size, can go up and get it, just physically really strong. I think he's learning still a lot about the finer details of playing wide receiver. It's where Ike Hilliard's come in really well, but he just makes plays every practice, every scrimmage, every game type of situation. We've heard is just Cam made several really good plays. So Cameron Brown's one to watch there. I also think from that scrimmage, keep an eye on Damari Alston, four-star running back, another true freshman that came in. He had a really big day, had a big rushing touchdown in that scrimmage. Auburn really likes, obviously, Tank Bigsby and Jarquez Hunter. They like Sean Jackson as a guy who can back them up. But if Damari Alston keeps having practices like this, he'll find ways to get on the field as a true freshman. So those are a couple freshmen that really flashed in the scrimmage. And then just kind of generally speaking, it sounded like it was a really good day in the scrimmage on Saturday night for Auburn's defensive backs. Didn't come down with an interception, but created a lot of havoc in the back end, a lot of swatted balls, good coverage. And also Craig McDonald, the transfer safety from Iowa State, picked up a fumble during a goal line portion of practice, picked up a fumble and took it 95 yards for a touchdown. So they've been making big plays in the secondary. Brian Arson said that's probably one of the best groups of this entire fall camp so far. So really good reviews right now from that secondary.
All right. I understand right now that people want the Auburn Observer, they can get 25% off for a year. Is that correct? You got a little deal going on?
Yeah. Yeah. So from here, really, the next couple of weeks, we're going to keep doing it. $45 for your first year of the Observer. Usually it's $60. So yeah, 25% off deal. All you got to do is sign up, go to auburnobserver.com. When you go to subscribe, that offer will be there for you. You don't need a code or a special link or anything like that. And yeah, we'll give you your first year for $45. And we've had a ton of stuff from the last couple of weeks with practice. We'll have even more. We'll be watching practice these next 2 days. There's a scrimmage later this week. There's an open practice to the media on Saturday. There's going to be a lot of stuff on there, so it's a good time to sign up.
$45 for all 12 months?
All 12 months.
One price. $3.75 a month. I need to help you. I need to get with you. You're giving this away. I mean, $3.75 a month. I mean, that is an unbelievable deal, and you get all. I'm on the site right now. I can't believe how much information there is here about all different things, and it's 12 cents a day. Okay, it's 12.5 cents a day every day of the year for a ton of information. Wow, that's a hell of a deal. All right.
Yeah, well, I'll say this: Auburn fans have been very generous, and the site's been doing well the first couple of years. So we've had a lot of people get on board, and we wanted more people to jump on, and we thought we could be a little flexible and get more people in the boat with a cheaper price, and so far so good.
That's
so,
tremendous.
Great time to sign up.
It's a good time to sign up is right. All right, man. Justin will be joining us every Tuesday at this time, and we look forward to that conversation and keeping it going. Thanks, Justin.
Absolutely. Thank you, man.
Grizz, $3.75 a month.
Trying to get that exposure, man. Best way possible.
Even Mike Honcho could afford $3.75 a month.
See, then once it starts building up, and then you raise it $1, and then see if people know.
A little bit. And I'm on the site right now. There's no ads. So if you want it with no ads, I mean, there you go. I mean, there's no ads.
He's got to get some ads.
No, I mean, if you're a subscription service, see, that's what I found with the Athletic.
Yeah.
If you pay, you don't want to be bothered with ads.
Correct.
So they want just content.
Right.
So it's a pay service, and wow, they got audio. They've got stories up the yin yang here. I mean, it's amazing. All right, let's get a break. When we come back, by the way, Grizz. So so the Price is Right was here in the studio. Yeah. And so last week when I was in here, I was aghast. Remember I was aghast?
Yeah.
Why was I aghast?
Because it looked awful.
No.
Oh.
Because they had a dude model.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Remember that?
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
what the
Sorry, you were mad about everything that day.
Yeah, the studio looked like crap. And I'm not today. Today I'm very pleased.
Yeah, the dude model. What's up?
They had a dude model. Today?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a woman.
So what's up?
Smoke show.
Oh.
I mean, a flat daytime game
It's like
porn.
guy cheerleaders.
I mean, it's like a
come on
smoke show. The girl that is, I think that this girl that is the model on this show today, I think she's a former Seahawks cheerleader.
Oh,
be honest
nice.
with you. I
There
think
you
she's
go.
a Seattle Seahawks cheerleader.
On TV now.
Yeah,
Drew Carey.
Daytime game show.
I bet he knew her.
porn.
I think he owns. I think he owns like a portion or something. He owns the Sounders. So
you know what? There was a picture of her wearing a T-shirt that said "Ohio is for lovers." Where's Drew from? Ohio. He's a Cleveland guy.
I'm not a big fan of Ohio.
He's a Cleveland
Ohio's
guy.
a myth. According to my friend, Ohio's a myth. Ohio doesn't exist.
You need to come over on this side of it. On this side.
I gotta be on that side. Yeah, no,
you gotta
got
come
TV.
over here.
I got TV, but I gotta put it on the computer.
This is disconcerting. Like I'm watching the wrong TV. I gotta watch the one with Stephen A. Smith. I gotta watch the one with the fantasy show on.
We were watching Let's Make a Deal yesterday, and I would have won somebody a car yesterday.
Yeah, she was on Deshaun Watson's Let's Make a Deal, I think. Let's get a break. We'll come back and set you up for hour number 2 next, right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
By now, you know that sound. It's the sound of the Home Depot. But what about those sounds? Those are the sounds of ice from LG's exclusive slow-melting craft ice for better-tasting drinks, making this the sound of savings on top brand appliances. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. Final days get up to 25% off plus $750 instant savings on select LG appliances through July 13th. Valid June 22nd through July 13th, U.S. only. Gas range extra. See store for details.
Depression and anxiety affect almost 20% of Americans each year. At Integrated Behavioral Health, our mission is to provide patient-centered, high-quality mental health services in a caring and compassionate setting.
IBH staff is wonderfully compassionate and friendly. They help me through a lot of my issues. I love this place.
If you're dealing with depression, anxiety, or other mental health disorders, make your appointment today. Call 855-422-1618. Integrated Behavioral Health in Madison and Decatur.
Mark and Henry McDaniel, attorneys at law, are proud alumni of Madison Academy, and Madison Academy is proud of them. They have served our community through their practice, through volunteerism and service on national, state, and local boards. They explain the complexity of critical court rulings on local media. Their successful practice has been built on integrity. Both are veterans of MA Athletics and proud sponsors of Mustang football. McDaniel & McDaniel, attorneys at law. No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by the lawyer.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of the Stanton Law Firm. Stan, I guess you are the Stanton in the law firm.
Yes, Wes, that's me, and we started the Stanton Law Firm so that myself and 4 other attorneys with me can help clients litigate, negotiate, and creatively solve legal and real estate problems.
Now, Stan, you grew up on a family farm in this area and have made a name closing on houses and land with your closing company, Jacob Title.
I grew up on a farm which used to be in the country. That, plus having closed on so many homes and farms, one of my colleagues started referring to me as a classic dirt lawyer. Now, I didn't know how to take that at first, that tag, but I realized that's exactly what I do and what I am.
Stan, I know the attorneys at Stanton Law Firm are regular listeners, and we plan to have you on periodically. You and I have seen have impacted this community.
Stay tuned, and you may hear about friends like Steve Booker, Clarence Johnson, Thomas Boyd, and even a few of those offensive line hogs like Hoss Johnson, and maybe you remember some other of those guys too.
I remember Clarence Johnson. He beat us one year. He was unbelievable.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Progressive is America's #1 motorcycle insurer, so we understand motorcycles. No, really, we have a bike translator.
Okay, so this bike says she is struggling with her place in the motorcycle community. Well, she says she hasn't peaked yet, but she's having a little epiphany, okay? Oh, that maybe life itself is the peak. Interesting. In my experience, I found that... Oh, so I just translate. Not allowed to have opinions. Got it.
Quote with Progressive and see if you could save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny sky this afternoon. A couple of scattered showers are going to be possible across the area. Odds are better than not. Most of us probably going to end up staying dry. The best opportunity for rain is going to exist back across northwest Alabama. Temperatures climbing for the most part into the mid and upper 80s, dropping into the mid 60s as we head into the overnight. A slightly better opportunity for a little more in the way of widespread precipitation as we head into your Wednesday afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Touchdown, Alabama! No look pass inside, but he got to go to play.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Segment of Thom Abraham Show is brought to you by North Alabama Mortgage. For all your mortgage needs, it's North Alabama Mortgage, and you need to get pre-approved when you're house shopping right now. You get pre-approved with North Alabama Mortgage, not pre-qualified. Don't let somebody say I'm being pre-qualified. Pre-qualified doesn't get you anything. Pre-approved gets you in the door with your offer, and it'll help you get your offer accepted. It's very competitive right now out there, and you need to get pre-approved with North Alabama Mortgage to help you with your purchase. Also, rates have kind of stabilized right now. You got an opportunity with good credit to be back in the 4s. This would be a great time to lock in and refinance for that project that you want to do because the value is still in the property. So you might want to check that out. Go to NorthAlabamaMortgage.com and learn more. Brian Hammaker and his team standing by to do a great job for you as they did for me. NorthAlabamaMortgage.com. Grizz, remember when we had Nick Sellers on? Remember Nick Sellers? He's the CEO of the World Games.
Right.
So the World Games, they were in Birmingham last month, and they cost $65.1 million to produce, which actually was $10 million less than the original budget. The budget was $75 million, and it turned out to be only $65 million. The problem is that the World Games only generated $51 million through ticket sales and sponsorships, leaving a $14 million shortfall, according to Nick Sellers. He said, I couldn't be more proud of our team at the World Games at 2022 Birmingham. However, for many reasons, our revenues left us with a deficit. We are working with our public and private partners to close the gap as quickly. Oh, God, where's my board? Oh, I can promise you the gap is closing. To close the gap as quickly as possible and satisfy all of our debts. He said, quote, we have every intention to raise the associated funds and pay our vendors. Close quote. Every intention? Oh, my gosh. We have every intention. That's scary when they say every intention. That means we might not pay our bills. Wow.
That stinks.
That could be bad. And who wants to sponsor them after they're gone? They go back to their sponsors and say, hey, would you give us more money? Doesn't make any sense. All right, coming up at the top of the hour, Alan Carpenter, TomahawkTake.com. Talking Braves next on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The NBA will be off on Election Day. The league has scheduled for this upcoming season to have all 30 teams playing on November 7th, the night before the midterm elections. The NBA hoping to use that night as an opportunity to encourage fans to get out and vote, plus amplify the need for civic engagement. On Election Day itself, November 8th, no NBA teams have games scheduled. The league says the scheduling decision came out of the NBA family's focus on providing nonpartisan civic engagement and encouraging fans to make a plan to vote during midterm elections. Tiger Woods and several PGA Tour members scheduled to meet today in an effort to rally support around the PGA Tour in its ongoing battle with the rival Saudi-backed Live Golf Series. The meeting is at the BMW Championship in Wilmington, Delaware, host of the second FedEx Cup playoff event that starts on Thursday.
Online at 977ESPN.com.
Stream them online.
Call in.
It's an important job, and it's an vital organization.
Tweet in and join in. We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. Guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live. Here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds
like Elle McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
And welcome back, hour number 2 of the Tom Abraham Show. Unfortunately, The Price is Right is over. And now The Young and the Restless are on. I thought they canceled that show, The Young and the Restless. Isn't that one? There was some long-running...
newer one.
There was some long-running soap opera that got canceled. I mean,
Days of Our Lives is still running, right?
No, I think that's the one that got canceled.
Oh, is that one canceled?
It's just like
Days of Our Lives?
It's like daytime porn, man. I'm telling you, the daytime porn that these people are watching.
This is for the
crazy. We got to get sports
for the
on both
lonely
TVs.
people
Why do
sitting at home?
Why do we not have sports on both TVs in here?
Because the other one is on the Fire Stick and it must have turned off. So the other one isn't on a Fire Stick. It's on local television or whatever.
Oh,
yeah.
Does
So
it have
we
to
keep it
be?
up with the news. No,
is that what it is? We're keeping up with the news?
I mean, we just kept it on the local news. It's always on the local news every morning, but then
daytime porn right now is what it's on.
At least it's not on the Defy Network.
It's absolutely
Steve knows what I'm talking about.
Crazy. All right. So anyway, last night, let me just tell you that this segment of the show is brought to you by TOC Sports for all your injury needs. It's TOC Sports. TOC Sports welcomes in the fine folks at Buckhorn High School, as now Buckhorn is joining the growing list of TOC sports schools. So many, really, throughout the Tennessee Valley have TOC taking care of all of their injury needs, and they can take care of your injury needs as well. They do it for Alabama A&M, the Huntsville Havoc as well. TOC Sports. All right. Last night, it's just an amazing performance, the 13-1 win by the Braves. And remember, the Mets had come into that game 17 of their last 21 wins. And then they had given up 2 runs or less for 8 straight games. 2 runs or less for 8 straight games. They hadn't done that since 1969. So it's the miracle Mets, the amazing Mets, I should say, in 1969. Now all of a sudden they get, a 13-burger dropped on them last night by the Braves. All right, joining us to talk about that and other Braves-oriented things is Alan Carpenter from TomahawkTake.com. Carp, welcome in. How are you?
I'm doing real good. This is a doghouse I'd love to be in.
Man, I'll tell you what. That's well put. Carp, like all our guests, is on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. You look at the Mets coming in hot as a pistol. So were the Braves. Come off back-to-back road sweeps. But who saw 13-1? I mean, that's crazy. Rain delay or no rain delay?
Yeah, this is a team that really embarrassed themselves and knew it when they got out of New York last weekend. And, yeah, they needed to do something different. They needed to get serious about this series and show the Mets that they really intended to play, and they did it last night. Excellent at all aspects of the game. Love seeing Ronald Acuna Jr. Getting 3 extra base hits. Yeah, that was exactly the kind of thing he needs to be doing, is spraying the ball all over the yard. And yeah, he was joined by Dansby getting 3 hits. Vaughn Grissom, I can't say enough about that kid, getting a couple of hits and scoring a run for the 6th straight game in his career. It was a total team effort. Spencer Strider came back and got himself right and mowed down the Mets in his innings of work. So yeah, this was a excellent job. Now that the question is, can they keep it going? Because they've got 3 more to do, and the pitching gets tougher from here.
Yeah, you almost don't want to beat them as bad as they beat them, because you don't know how the Mets are going to respond to that. That's for sure. But back to Grissom for a moment. I mean, the kid has had a hit in every single game he's ever played in the major leagues. I don't think that will continue. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say I don't think he'll get a hit in every single game he ever plays in the major league. So one of these days, he's going to hang an offer. I don't know how he's going to respond to that, but it's going to happen. I mean, it's an amazing story. Everybody they bring up, I mean, they brought up their top 3 prospects, and they all look like studs, in the majors. But what are they going to do with Vaughn Grissom when eventually Ozzie Albies is going to come back? They might be telling him, you know what, Ozzie, just take your time, get right. But eventually he's going to come back. Then what do you do with Vaughn Grissom? What else can he do?
Yeah, Baseball Prospectus had an interesting little bit about him, and when they started seeing things go really good for Grissom on his first couple of games, and said, "Okay, Braves, now you're just showing off."
Yeah.
When you do that with guys like Mike Harris coming up from Double-A and doing what he's done, and now Grissom keeping that line moving, this is awesome. Now, if he keeps doing this, there's a period of time between now and maybe middle of September, maybe early September, before we're expecting Ozzie Albies back. If he keeps doing this, they probably will say, Ozzie, take your time, make sure you're right.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, when it comes down to it, Ozzie was only hitting 244 for the year and really struggling with anything other than a fastball, which nobody's throwing him much anymore. So the fact is that Ozzie was not doing the kinds of things that he had been doing the last couple of years, and that was a problem for the Braves at the second base position. So the fact that Grissom's off to this excellent start, like say, I think it's 7 runs now in his first 6 games, is outstanding, and he's just doing everything he needs to be doing. There are a couple of signs that they do need to maybe keep his youthful exuberance down about. One was he took a risky extra base at one point last night, and then there was a ground ball that he took on the backhanded side that is not the way Wash likes to have his infielders do things. But, I mean, this is nitpicking, really, at this point, because he's done some outstanding at-bats. He's got an OPS of over 1,300 in these first 6 games. So, yeah, this is a kid that has been hitting like crazy in the minors, and go to it, kid.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, the Braves are over 600 now. I mean, they're 71-46 on the season, and it seemed like they spent so much time wallowing around right around 500. So many similarities to last year, and it's an infusion of new players again. But this time, instead of it being a bunch of cast-offs from other teams and older guys and things like that, this time they're doing it with their own kids, which really bodes well for the future.
Yeah, and you asked about what we do with Grissom when Ozzie comes back. Dave O'Brien, writing in The Athletic today, suggested left field for him, and that'd be a long-term solution, perhaps, and that would be a reasonable choice because positionally the Braves are worst in baseball with their left field production. That's why they went out and got Robbie Grossman to platoon with Eddie Rosario, who's starting to hit well, but we're thinking about next year and beyond, the kinds of things that they want to do that way. But, I mean, that's getting a little ahead of ourselves. He's only had a week in the majors, so you want to see this continue, but you know he can't be hitting 429 for the entire duration of his career. But at the same time, there are options, and when a kid hits like this, you want to get him on the field someplace.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No doubt about it. All right, so right now, I mentioned the Braves at 71-46. The Mets, the Braves, and Philadelphia would all be leading the NL Central. All right, if they were in the NL Central, Philadelphia would be leading. They're 10.5 games behind the Mets. They'd be a couple of games up on St. Louis. If Atlanta was in the Central, they would be about 8 or 9 games, maybe 10 games up in about 8 games up in the NL Central. Should baseball, since they're gone to this expanded playoff deal, do you think at some point in time that baseball might think about after the divisional play, you take all the division winners for sure, but when it comes to the playoffs, should they seed them based on record? I mean, should a 71-win team like Atlanta have to play in that, well, they would play in the first round, but it seems kind of weird that you'd have 3 teams as good as they are in the East, and yet, St. Louis will be there hosting, and they got a worse record than all of them.
Yeah, and right now, if the playoffs began today, it would be the Braves hosting the Phillies as the 4th and 5th seeds. The Padres have fallen percentage points back when they actually would end up in what on paper would look like an easier bracket with the Mets and the Cardinals. This is going to be an easier conversation to have starting next season when the the league
More
goes
balanced,
to what's a more balanced schedule. You're still going to play your divisional opponents more often, but at the same time, you're also going to play every other team in the majors at least, I think, 6 or 7 times during the year. So the idea that you're not just concentrating on your own division and one of the American League divisions is going to make that a more balanced outcome, I think, and would lend itself to that kind of discussion. That said, I would not mind the idea of reseeding opponents in the playoffs after each round and getting the more favorable matchups for the better teams. That would seem to make sense, to me at least. Now, at the same time, you've got these divisions that are still going to have a little bit of emphasis there. I do like to have rewards for division winners, and right now that is going to be, that gives you the buys for the top 2 division winners, and then the National League Central is going to have the non-bye playoff teams. So that kind of makes sense, but I do like the idea of reseeding teams when you get past each round to provide more favorable matchups.
Well, and I guess the only difference is, whether Atlanta would host San Diego or host Philadelphia. In both cases, right now it would be St. Louis as the division winner hosting San Diego. In both cases, all 3, it's a best of 3, and all 3 games are at the higher seed. Is that correct? So Atlanta would have.
That is correct.
All right, so then that's the flip side of that question is it fair to have a wild card team basically have the same exact scenario as a division winner? So St. Louis and Atlanta basically are in the same exact boat. There's no benefit for St. Louis winning their division other than the fact that, it's the worst division, but there's really no benefit there. Atlanta, they would host Philadelphia 3 games at home, and St. Louis would host San Diego 3 games at home. It seems like if you're a division winner, there'd be maybe something a little added there. I don't know what.
That's the problem with a 12-team format. You've almost got to have a wild card round, and then the winners from those take on the.
Well, what if they were the only
winners.
one? What if only the division winner got to host all 3? And then Atlanta, Philadelphia was the same thing, 2 out of 3, but 2 in Atlanta, 1 in Philadelphia. Open in Philadelphia and then 2 in Atlanta. Something where there's an incentive to be that 3rd division winner. Maybe just that team gets the 3 games, all 3 at home. I don't know that Atlanta should get all 3 at home if they're a wild card.
Yeah, I do not disagree with you. However, there's logistical issues, and it has to do with travel. And right now, they announced the playoff schedule yesterday, and the wild card rounds are going to be on 3 consecutive days, October 7, 8, and 9. To get those 3 games in there without having travel issues, you pretty much have to have them at one single location. Now, at the same time, there are going to be possible issues in the next round or 2 where you might, and so I think it was Jeff Passan that came up with the possible scenario of maybe a Seattle team flying and the Yankees flying coast to coast on consecutive days to get their schedules in. But if you do it the way it's constructed right now, at least makes it a little bit better logistically, but I don't disagree with you. Wildcard team should have some sort of penalty, if you will, for not winning their own division. Yeah,
Atlanta and Philadelphia, it's a 1-hour flight. You know what I mean? And those guys, everything is first class when they fly. That's nothing. That's like getting in your car and driving to Buckhead or driving to Alpharetta or wherever half of these guys live. It'd take them an hour to get home after a game anyway. But so that, to me, that wouldn't be too bad of a deal. Alan Carpenter with us here talking some Braves. All right, Kyle Wright. What are the chances that Kyle Wright or Max Fried get a chance to pitch in this series maybe Thursday?
Right now, it's looking like they would prefer to have Wright in there against Jacob deGrom for the series finale. He's suffering from some arm fatigue, and that probably comes from the fact that while he's not quite at a career high in terms of innings, that was 143 in 2021. However, 137 of those came at AAA. This is his high as far as his major league career in the majors, and probably you could argue a little bit higher stress innings. So he skipped a start, and now they're hoping to see if he can get back for that. However, they did not option back Kyle Muller after his performance against the Marlins last weekend. So he's kind of hanging around, probably as an insurance policy to see if Wright can go. And if he can't, then it'll be Muller. Right now, the preference seems to be Wright on Thursday and then Fried on Friday against Houston and Lance McCullers. Let's see if that comes to pass, but right now they're doing a lot of mixing and matching. In fact, they literally in the last half hour just called up Freddie Tarnock from AAA for his major league debut. Well, not necessarily debut if he doesn't get into a game, but this will be his first call up to the majors. Getting fresh arms in there, trying to make sure that they've got things covered both in terms of starting and relief pitching. So it's a little bit of a balls in the air kind of situation right now for the starting rotation and the bullpen, and they're trying to make sure that all bases are covered.
For those that don't know, of course, Kyle is a Huntsville kid and then also played at Vanderbilt. Now, he is 14-5 this season with a 3.14 ERA. I guess there's an outside shot there that he could get to 20 wins. I didn't think we'd ever see a 20-game winner again. But you say that we're still getting a couple a year, basically? There's been 10 since 2015. When was the last? Was there a 20-game winner last year? Because I didn't think anybody was getting 20 games anymore, 20 wins anymore.
It's not very often. That's for darn sure. I need to look that up again while I'm chatting with you here.
I think we had one last year.
The last time that we saw that for the Braves was Russ Ortiz way back in 2003. So it has been a long stretch there, and even before that, it was kind of rare. Heck, Greg Maddux only did it once with the Braves.
That's shocking.
Kind of surprising.
Yeah, that is really surprising. One
time.
Yeah.
But Tom Glavine did it 5 times, but it is definitely getting to be a very rare thing in the major leagues. Last year it happened once. Julio Urias for the Dodgers got to 20-3, and by that number of losses, you can tell that he didn't let a lot of grass grow under his feet, but he at the same time barely made the 20. So these guys are getting 30, 34 starts normally per year, perhaps, and they need every one of them to get that number of wins because they're getting their innings cut down. Things are a little more volatile in terms of lead changes, and it's just kind of difficult to get that W. And really, in terms of wins and losses, that's fallen out of favor among the stat guys around, but it's still a really nice number to hang your hat on if you can achieve it. Wright should get about at least 8 more starts if he's healthy, so he's definitely got an outside shot at it. His the opponents that he's liable to face are going to provide a challenge, like facing DeGrom on Thursday if that happens. But it'd really be really nice to see, especially for a kid that only had 2 career wins coming into this year.
I don't even know how to grade a pitcher anymore in terms of numbers, because you say, okay, the start or the win. Well, now, I mean, they're pulled after 6. For the most part, they're pulled after 6. 7 is a rarity. And so what happens is that they're relying heavily on other people to win their game for them, to hold their game for them as a win. So I don't know how you factor that number. And you say, well, okay, let's look at ERA. Well, yeah, but even ERA is artificially low because they're only going through the lineup twice, maybe a third time. So back in the day, with those when a guy had an ERA like Bob Gibson, and he had an ERA of 2 or some stupid number 1.81 or whatever they were, he saw everybody 4 times. I mean, it did that, So it's weird. I don't even know what numbers anymore you use to grade a pitcher who only plays a half a game, basically.
Yeah, there's this invented quality start stat. 6 innings and 3 runs are less allowed. And really, I'm not crazy about that because that's still a 4.5 ERA if you hold to that exactly. And that's not what I'd call a quality starting pitcher, really. You got to be at 3.5 or less at least in order to really get your team in a position to win every time. I think I'm trying to remember. It's been several years. I looked up what quality starts would have done to the Braves' big three, Glavine, Smoltz, and Maddox.
Yeah.
Seems like Glavine had roughly the same number of quality starts as he did wins overall, so that does at least track on that particular correlation. But, of course, that was over an entire career that spanned almost 20 years or so, and yeah, it's difficult. I don't like the idea of the quality start, like I say, and there are different ways to measure it, but really I don't like the fact that we train our pitchers to go 5 or 6 innings and that's it, and then turn it over to the bullpen.
It's the other reason why they're throwing everybody throws 98, 99, 100 miles an hour, because they're only throwing 90 pitches, 89, 90, but you don't have to kind of pace yourself anymore. It's not like back in the day where guys would go 120, 130, 140 pitches, and you'd have to kind of save your arm a little bit. You're only in there for six innings. You're only in there for 100 pitches. You go ahead and throw as hard as you want.
Yeah, and a lot of this, these guys that we're seeing can't find the strike zone half the time. That's why the guys like Spencer Strider are so special, because he's throwing 99 and 100 without extra effort, it seems, and with actual pitch and feel. And he can find the strike zone. He can paint the corners. He can put the ball where he wants to. And honestly, as an organization, that's what it looks like the Braves are targeting. When you look at the draft picks they made this year in particular, these guys throw strikes. They don't walk guys. And as an organization, you love to see that, because walks have killed us in terms of the bullpen, especially over the last several years. And obviously the Atlanta Braves are trying to get away from that. So even if you've got guys who are throwing 99, 100 and such, you're getting them who are going to still throw strikes and get people out. And that's definitely bodes well for the long term.
Alan Carpenter has been our guest talking some Braves baseball. Carp, I appreciate you so much, man.
Thanks very much. Appreciate you having me.
All right, thank you. That's TomahawkTake.com. And Grizz, does that surprise you? John Smoltz had 120 game. He had 4 seasons with the Braves, or not John Smoltz.
Greg Maddux.
Greg Maddux.
Yeah.
He had 4 seasons where he ended on 19 wins. He had 4 seasons where he had 19 wins, but only in 19 and 93 or something like that did he have a 20-game winning season.
And he
that
threw a
shocks
name,
me.
and he threw a name I haven't heard in a while, Russ Ortiz, man.
Russ Ortiz.
I can remember some Russ Ortiz games for sure. I've got a trivia question for you.
Yes.
I got a trivia question for everybody if they want to do. Who holds the Braves record for the most 10-game strikeouts in a season, 23 or younger?
The most 10-game strikeouts in a
four.
season.
10
at
10
age,
strikeout games. Yeah, the most 10 strikeout games in a season, 23 or younger.
At 23 or younger.
Yeah, and I got 4 names for you. I got Spencer Strider, Steve Avery, Alex Wood, or John Smoltz.
I'd say Spencer Strider.
And you're right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's perfect. I don't have my dinger in front of me, but yeah, you're right. No, he's got 4, and so he's looking for 1 more, and that'll beat Julio Teheran's overall record, which is 5. But that's the most. He's already has the record for the most.
Yeah.
The only 3 before that had 3 in a row and they tied was Alex Wood, still in the league, Julio Teheran, 2013, and Juan Pizarro in 1959.
Wow.
Yeah.
The strikeout wasn't quite as prevalent, in the early 90s and stuff like that as it is now. I mean, guys didn't want to strike out back in the day. I mean, they'd go up there and they would make contact. Now with launch angle and hitting hard hits and exit velo and all that crap, guys don't care if they strike out 150, 200 times.
Well, it's just insane that he's been able to do that and he's been able to have that success pitching the ball, because that's all he does. I mean, he likes to throw strikes and he likes to get it past. He likes to make you miss. And Spencer Strider, to be able to do that. And to be able to do that the first 2 games, I'm pretty sure that he did that the first 2 games, and he probably got a run support of 3 in those first 2 games. I mean, and to be able to record double-digit strikeouts and not get any run support, it's got to be tough on a pitcher.
All right, let's get a break in here. When we come back, kind of a 2-list day here on a Top 10 Tuesday. Only 11 times in the history of the AP poll and that's 72 years, has the team that was preseason number 1 finished number 1 at the end of the season in the AP poll. I'm going to give you that list, and let's talk about this everything school stuff and who really is the best when it comes to a combination of basketball and football in the SEC. We'll do that all in the final 20 minutes of the show right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Week 2 of the NFL preseason, the New Orleans Saints playing at the Packers Friday night. New Orleans a 3-point road underdog. Elsewhere, the Falcons won't play until Monday night when they visit the Jets. Atlanta a 2-point road favorite. The Braves and Mets will play Game 2 tonight. Atlanta the minus 145 moneyline favorite at home. New York at plus 125, 8.5 to set total. Kamaru Usman puts his welterweight belt on the line against Leon Edwards at UFC 278 Saturday in Salt Lake City. Usman a minus 400 favorite in the 5-round title fight. Edwards at plus 280. Red Hot winning picks at experts.winnersandwiners.com. Save 75% on any best bet package with the promo code ACTION75. That's ACTION75 at experts.winnersandwiners.com.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Something you probably do know. Progressive can not only offer you a great price when you bundle home and auto, they offer you round-the-clock protection. Something you probably don't know? A driveway basketball hoop, including the base, weighs around 400 pounds. Something you probably do know? There's a windstorm coming. Something you probably don't know? A basketball hoop tipping over can poke a hole in a car roof like a can opener. Bundle your home and auto with Progressive and get more than a great price. Get round-the-clock protection. Something you know for the things you don't know. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers and subject to policy terms. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
McCurry Motors is your car and van rental headquarters. You can rent the vehicle you need today. Family in town, sporting event, church function, no matter what your need, McCurry Motors has you covered with a wide selection of cars and vans available for rent. They have 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter vans, 12-passenger Ford Transit vans, 15-passenger Ford Transit vans, and 15-passenger Chevrolet Express vans. They have 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Thom Abraham here for my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
With the division on the line and the playoffs charging in, you won't want to miss a minute of Atlanta Braves baseball.
High fly, deep to left, forget about it for Austin Riley. A blast to left.
Tonight, don't miss a minute of this epic NL East battle in Atlanta as Ronald Acuna and the Braves take on Pete Alonso and the New York Mets. Braves Radio's on the air at 6:05 Eastern, 5:05 Central on the Braves Radio Network.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
You know what a booster shot can be like? Charging a cell phone. Just like a cell phone charger helps restore your battery, a booster is given after a primary series vaccination to enhance or restore protection against COVID-19, which wanes over time. Boosters are recommended for people 5 years and older. Schedule a booster appointment as soon as eligible. You can even make the appointment on your phone, as long as it's charged. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny sky this afternoon. A couple of scattered showers are going to be possible across the area. Odds are better than not. Most of us probably going to end up staying dry. The best opportunity for rain is going to exist back across northwest Alabama. Temperatures climbing for the most part into the mid and upper 80s, dropping into the mid 60s as we head into the overnight. A slightly better opportunity for a little more in the way of widespread precipitation as we head into your Wednesday afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Paul Feinbaum. Listen to me coming up today at 2. Now back to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Welcome back, Thom Abraham Show. Segment of the show is brought to you by our good friends at Woody Anderson Ford. For all your service needs, it's Woody Anderson Ford. Their service department is second to none. It is just tremendous. When you see it down there, you're going to be totally impressed at the service department of Woody Anderson Ford and the job that they are going to do for you. Check out Woody Anderson Ford online at WoodyAndersonFord.com, and you can see the certified pre-owned vehicles as well. Gold certified, not just regular certified, Chris. Gold certified.
Top of the line.
Top of the line.
Real fancy. Real
Gold.
Nice. Clean. Everything's great. I also got asked to go over there, and I can go get my car serviced over there.
Yes.
Anything.
Anything can get done over there. All right. Do you have any breaking news or drum roll or anything over there for me? What's that big orange blob that just walked in behind you? The heck was that? Now you're talking. All right, Chris.
I don't know what that was.
Beginning Monday. I don't know what that was either. Some big orange blob when walking by.
I think it had a big T on his chest.
Behind you. What? It's got my initial on there?
I think there's, yeah. I think it's
for Tom?
Yeah,
is that what it stands for? It stands
yeah.
for Tom? He's got a big power Tom
It's
on
not a
his.
G. It's not a G.
No,
that's for sure.
It's not. It's a big T for Tom.
Or an M.
That Cleveland Brown orange? That must be Cleveland Brown orange with a. No, Cleveland Brown orange is burnt orange. You know what that kind of orange that is? That's that kind of orange that you use. You know, that's that inside of a pumpkin orange. That's that kind of that puke orange. And I don't like pumpkin. All right? So that's that kind of orange.
Either.
All right, so beginning Monday, Grizz, at 11 o'clock. Now, we know every Monday at 10:25, we'll be joined by Tom Luganville throughout the season, right?
Correct.
So beginning this Monday, upcoming.
I think I know what this is.
This is big news. Auburn tight end John Samuel Schenker will be joining the show every Monday at 11 o'clock. John Samuel Shanker.
War Eagle.
Call me John Samuel. Because I asked him, I said, can I just call you John? He's, no, I'm John Samuel.
John Samuel.
He lets
Come
it
on,
hold.
man.
How about JS? How about JSS? No. John Samuel Shanker. I think the kid's got a wonderful future. He's going to have a big year this year for Auburn. I think he's an NFL tight end down the road. Big kid. Easy to talk to. And so John Samuel Shanker, every Monday, courtesy of Valley Equipment Rental. That's right. I told you about Ross Roberts, right? I told you. Those guys, man, he just steps up. He steps up. I was talking about something else. And I'm like, John Samuel Shanker. And he's like, the big tight end from Auburn? Ooh. I want to. Ooh.
He's got to get him the coldest, Crawford commercial.
Yeah.
Get him a John Samuel Shanker.
Well, I gotta
Valley
send
Equipment commercial.
I gotta send Shanker. I gotta send him a commercial, a script, to do a spot.
Hey, this is John Samuel Shanker.
And Valley Equipment now has
two.
Two.
He's got to do that, too.
I'm going to score 2 touchdowns this week because there's 2 locations.
See, we're already producing it right now.
See?
This is perfect.
We're a 2 tight end team, and they've got 2 locations. I'm John Samuel Shanker, and I don't like when there's 2 tight ends in a game, and they only throw it to me twice. But I do like that there's 2 Valley Equipment rentals.
Perfect. That is so perfect.
When we score a touchdown, we go for 2. And there's 2 Valley Equipment. Maybe. We'll see. No, we're not going to see about Shanker. We're going to see what the spot is. Shanker's in.
He's going to be there.
Shanker's in. We got to
Pretty
see
confusion.
We got no confusion there. Yeah, Shanker is in. Okay. All right. Give me a little Tuesday top 10. You got it over there? Give me something. Give me a little of that.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's the Tuesday top 10. Shane and the Moneymakers, by the way, on that. Not Shanker and the Moneymakers. That's Shane and the Moneymakers giving me the Tuesday top 10 ditty there. I've had that for 12 or 13 years now that those guys worked that up for me. You know who knows who Shane and the Moneymakers are? Not Chris. No.
No Smokey?
No, not Smokey.
Dewey Magoo?
The Phillip.
Oh, the Phillip.
Yeah, that came out of Nashville. Any musical things that I have
is out of Nashville.
Is out of Nashville.
Yeah.
That's all out of Nashville. No, the Phillip knows
We're not Nashville quality
I
here.
think the Phillip might have. I don't know if I'm making that up. I think the Phillip might have given us Shane and the Moneymakers. Have you seen yet the Rizzo getting hit by the pitch? Have you seen that?
No, I tried to find it.
They were just showing
to
it.
look. It reminded me of last night when Darno got hit too.
They were just showing. Yeah, but they let him take his base. This reminds me of nothing because this kid got to take his base. It didn't get to take his base. Darno got to take a base. I'm all over the place right now. I am an absolute. Look, there's a squirrel right now.
It happens.
I am all over the place right now. It is meeting day. All right. 11 times in the 72-year history of the AP poll has the team that was preseason number 1 finished number 1. 11 times in 72 years. The first team that did it was Tennessee in 1951. They went 10-1 under General Neyland. The second team, Grizz, to do it, Sparty.
Ooh.
The next year. 2 years in a row, the AP got it right from the beginning. The next year, Michigan State went 9-0. They opened the season with a 27-13 win against Michigan. They slipped to number 2 in the poll at one point in time, but then they beat Penn State and Purdue and Notre Dame. They allowed 9.3 points per game all season long. 1956, Oklahoma, under Bud Wilkinson. Oklahoma went 10-0, and they won their second of back-to-back national championships and held the number 1 spot all but 1-2 weeks. But they were number 1 at the beginning of the year, number 1 at the end of the year. Fourth team that did it, 1974, Oklahoma. Barry Switzer. They fell to number 3 after they beat Baylor 28-11 in week 1. They dropped to number 3, and then they just blew everybody else out. They've averaged 43 points a game that year. 1975, Oklahoma. Oklahoma won back-to-back national championships. They were ranked number 1 both years at the beginning of the season and at the end of the season by the AP. They were 11-1 that year. Leroy Selman, and the defense was outstanding. They were 8-0. 8-0. They lost 23-3 to Kansas. And they bounced back and they beat Missouri, and then they beat number 2 Nebraska, and then they played Michigan in the Orange Bowl. They were number 3 going in, okay? This is the way it was back then. We would fight about who won. They were number 3. Michigan was number 5. Oklahoma won the game 14-6. Ohio State was number 1. They lost their bowl game. Texas A&M was number 2. They lost their bowl game. And Oklahoma was named national champions after both Ohio State and A&M, number 1 and number 2, lost the bowl games. 1978, Grizz. Who was preseason number 1 in 1978 and postseason number 1?
Sorry, I had a call. It was an automated number. It sounded like it was messed up too because it was a recording that kept messing up. So I do apologize.
1978.
Yeah.
Think about it. 1978 preseason number 1. Alabama. Bear Bryant. They went 11-1. Remember, they lost in September that year to USC, and then they won their next 8 games, and they played, of course, Penn State in the Sugar Bowl, goal line stand.
You can hear that a lot on the filler.
Yeah. There you go, 1978. 1985, Oklahoma. For the 4th time, out of the 11 times it's happened, 4 times Oklahoma. Oklahoma was number 1. In the AP preseason poll, they finished number 1. Jamel Holloway, remember him? Brian Bosworth, that team. Tony Casillas, the Lombardi Award winner. I mean, they were loaded that year. They beat number 1. They had lost the game to Miami in October, and then they beat Penn State in the Orange Bowl 25-10, won national championship. 1993, Bobby Bowden in Florida State did it with Charlie Ward. Heisman Trophy winner, never played a down of NFL football. Heisman Trophy winner ended up being a guard for the New York Knicks. Serviceable. They lost to Notre Dame on November 13th, but then the Irish lost the next week to Boston College. I watched that game. One of the few games, I was a college football coach on. One of the few games I actually got to watch. I had stopped at a pub, okay, to have a brew with another coach after our game.
And a hoagie.
And we sat at the bar and we watched Notre Dame get beat by Boston College. I think Doug Flutie in Boston College. Boston College was number 12. They beat Notre Dame, so the Seminoles jumped back up to number 1. They beat number 2 Nebraska in the Orange Bowl 18-16 that year. 1999, Florida State ran the table 12-0. Left no doubt that year. Chris Wanke and Free Shoes Peter Warwick, they averaged 38 points a game. It's only happened, now that's 9 of them, right? It's only happened twice since the turn of the century. So what that means is that the media sucks. Can't pick anything.
No.
It's happened
terrible at it.
It's happened twice at the turn of the century. It happened in 2004 with USC. That was the great year that Auburn had. They were undefeated. But Pete Carroll and the Trojans, they ran the table as well, 13-0. They were the defending AP national champions from 2003, the year that Saban won. No. Did they win a half of one when Saban won it?
Yeah.
It was a half of one.
It was a co-national championship.
It was co-national championship.
They were preseason number 8, USC was.
Yeah. In 2003.
Correct.
Yeah. 2004, USC was preseason number 1. They played Oklahoma and beat the snot out of the Sooners 55-19. Now, they had to forfeit the BCS championship afterwards, after that game, because of that they're Reggie Bush. But it's still recognized as an AP national champion. So they still get credit for that. They beat Oklahoma 55-19. They would have beaten Auburn 21-14. I think Auburn would have given them a game. They'd have beaten Auburn 21-14. They beat Oklahoma 55-19. And the last time it happened, 2017. By God, Alabama, 13-1. And the Tide, remember, that was the year. The Tide was ranked number 1 at the beginning of the year and lost the Iron Bowl. Remember that? They lost the Iron Bowl. And they were ranked number 5 in the final season AP poll. They were number 5 in the final regular season AP poll.
Was that all SEC Jared Stidham that year, I believe?
Yeah, that's when Auburn, remember Auburn then lost the SEC championship game to Georgia. And the Tide turned around and beat Clemson. And then 2nd and 26 happened. So now Alabama, they get a chance to do it again. Now they get a shot at trying to do it again. Now, the reality is that this has not happened very often for Alabama and Nick Saban. I mean, Alabama was preseason number 1 in 2010, 2013, 2016, 2018. Did not win. Last year, did not win. They were preseason number 1 last year.
It's crazy how much hype, though, Clemson had in 2020 because of how well that Alabama team dominated in 2020. Yeah. And they were number 3 preseason.
Alabama was.
Yeah,
and they had maybe their best team. I will always dispute or debate whether that's the best team ever and whether Mac Jones had the best year.
Do you give that more credit because it was an all-SEC game schedule than you do like an MLB or an NBA team winning a 60-game schedule of?
No, that part of it's fine.
Yeah.
That part of it is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it was 10
or
instead
like a
of
short
12.
season, I mean.
It was 10 instead of 12.
Yeah.
So that would be like baseball playing 140 instead of 161.
Right.
Baseball played 60. All right, which would be like football playing 3.
Yeah.
Right? It would be a 3-game, it would be a third of a season, 4.
You know what the Pac-12 did.
It would be it would be like the SEC playing 4 games.
Yeah.
So I ain't buying that. Here's why I will never ever consider the 2020 team the greatest Alabama team ever. It has an asterisk next to it. It's over there. I'm not saying they weren't great. And the season at Mac Jones, they never played a road game. They never played in front of a crowd. They never played in a hostile crowd. They played all the games were antiseptic. They didn't even play home games. They were played like practice. No home crowd to make you. Let me tell you something. Your own crowd makes you feel anxious. Right? I mean, your own crowd make you, you know what I mean? You're feeling that. You feel pressure. They played all of their games in front of no people. Mac Jones never had to go into, difficult road circumstances and I can't hear and it's so loud, my heart is pounding. None of that. So I will never compare that team to the other great teams. 2011. For me, in this run, 2011 was the best one of the bunch. But I would I can't do it. Sorry, can't do it, Sally. Can't do it. All right, we'll come back and wrap it up next. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
This time of year, it's hot. But with Brooks & Collier, you can be outside and comfortable. That's why Brooks & Collier has deep discounts on a large selection of patio umbrellas, furniture, and grills. With these patio umbrellas, you're sure to have a nice, shaded spot to relax. Lucy knows the best spot is a shaded spot. So if you're looking to spruce up your backyard and make it more comfortable, visit North Alabama's indoor and outdoor living headquarters for over 75 years. 813 Meridian Street and at brooksandcollier.com. Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10-plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
Do you know that your car or truck or SUV may be worth up to 30 or 40% more than it was last year? It's true. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and now is the perfect time to trade in, trade up to a gold certified or blue certified pre-owned car, truck, SUV, or crossover. While our new vehicle inventory continues to build back, our Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned vehicles are nearing 100 models to choose from, and a good variety too. Woody Anderson Ford Gold certified vehicles are 6 years or younger with less than 80,000 miles and have passed a 172-point inspection by factory certified technicians. They have a 14-day, 1,000-mile money-back guarantee, a great comprehensive limited warranty, 24-hour roadside assistance, and go home with full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Get nearly a new ride and none of the worries. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan at Sparkman. Hope to see you soon.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, "If you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself."
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
As the Atlanta Braves battle for another postseason run.
Throw comes in, and it got him! Oh, my goodness, what a throw!
It's also the start of football season. We've got you covered right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Brought to you by Baumhauers. Why Baumhauers? I'll tell you why Baumhauers. next Thursday, a week from Thursday. Give me breaking news over there. I got more breaking news. Give me some breaking news over there. A week from Thursday, on August the 25th, the 20th annual DFL live fantasy football draft will take place at Baumhauer's during an episode of The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. All right, so that is coming up. We will go at 6 o'clock. All right, be there at 5:30 so we can get you into leagues. We'll begin our draft at 6 o'clock. All right, so those of you that went out, put it out on all the socials. I'll get it out there. But on the 25th, the Doghouse Fantasy Football League, where you compete for those beautiful rings, the Doghouse Fantasy Football, we will award last year's rings to Kramer and Captain Cool, who are our winners last year. Now, if we get 30 people, we'll have 3 leagues of 10. If we get 40 people, we'll have 4 leagues of 10. If we get 36 people, we'll have 3 leagues of 12. And I'll be looking for to appoint somebody a commissioner of one of the leagues. Grizz will act as commissioner of one league, and Smokey Mike Honcho will be the commissioner of another league. We'll look for other commissioners in if we need more leagues. We will have the leagues will be either 8, 10, or 12-team leagues, depending on however many people show up. Continue to let us know you're coming via the text window or on Facebook or on the Twitter. Continue to let us know that you are coming. Bring as many people as you want to play. All are welcome. We will whack it all up and get our leagues ready that night. So be there at 5:30, Baumhauer's, a week from Thursday on the 25th. Coming up next is the Chuck Oliver Show, Paul Feinbaum, and The Drive, all right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.